Hi, I'm Steve Elliott, Director of the Minnesota Historical Society. As part of the 25th anniversary celebration of the grand reopening of the Young Quinlan Building, Susan and Robert Greenberg have established an endowment fund at the Minnesota Historical Society for historic preservation. The fund will be used for projects and programs fostering awareness and education in the adaptive reuse of Minnesota's historic properties. As the most tangible assets in our communities, historic properties are worth saving. Their preservation and adaptive reuse help drive community revitalization in the process. When the 614 Company took control of the Young Quinlan Building, it was neglected and deteriorating. But the Greenbergs made the decision to preserve the building rather than demolish it, and it has become a vital part of our community once again. Its preservation success was one of few in Minneapolis when it was completed, but is now one of many. Join us as we look back on this wonderful old building's history and the continuing work and dedication to ensuring that the legacy Elizabeth Quinlan built 88 years ago will live on for future generations of Minnesotans.
The year is 1926. Minneapolis is a bustling town of 380,000. Calvin Coolidge is president, and the country is in love with their Ford Model Ts. And Elizabeth Quinlan, who made her mark in the male-dominated rag trade as the first female buyer of ready-to-wear garments, is finalizing her dream. She is opening a majestic Renaissance revival building on the corner of 9th Street and Nicollet Avenue in the heart of downtown Minneapolis. It is her perfect gem, the Young Quinlan Building. Opening day drew a crowd of over 20,000 people for Elizabeth's housewarming party. With its old-world grace and elegance, it quickly became a landmark in the heart of the city. As a tenant in the Young Quinlan Building for nearly 20 years, I can say without reservation that there is no other office building like it in the Twin Cities. From valet service to the elevator operators to great views of the Nicollet Mall, the historic charm of Young Quinlan is unmatched. Russ Nelson. The Young Quinlan Building graced Minneapolis with its elegant brick and Casota limestone exterior, its sweeping staircase of travertine marble, wrought iron balustrades, crystal chandeliers, and cathedral windows for over 60 years. But the years had taken its toll on Elizabeth Quinlan's perfect gem, and many in the city were arguing that it was time to tear her down. And they almost got their way. That is, until Bob and Sue Greenberg, owners of the 614 Company, took control of the building in 1985, saving it from the wrecking ball. I could say so much about how this beautiful structure has been preserved with thoughtfulness, balancing history with function. But simply stated, it is a gift to know that each time I enter the building, I am part of an experience that both my grandparents and my grandchildren will share. Sarah Harris. In 1989, Elizabeth Quinlan's building was once again the perfect gem of downtown Minneapolis and reopened as a mixed-use office and retail space. It is my pleasure to have been involved with this beautiful building since 1983. The building has a personality that reflects its caring ownership, its professional and attentive office staff, the hustle of the guys in the ramp, the joyful greetings from the wonderful elevator operators every day. Thank you, Greenbergs, for making this the best building in the city. Jim Nelson. In honor of the historic preservation and adaptive reuse of the Young Quinlan Building, and to recognize and celebrate the 25th anniversary of the reopening of this grand and historically significant property, Bob and Sue Greenberg are establishing an endowed fund with the Minnesota Historical Society. What a wonderful treasure of a building in our downtown Young Quinlan is. Classic, historic, and beautifully maintained. The history inside and out is well preserved, with owners who care and have invested in this classic structure. Here's to 25 more years of living, breathing history in a classic location on Nicollet Mall. Lisa Goodman. The Minnesota Historical Society's mission is using the power of history to transform lives and carry out historic preservation. The fund is intended for use only in projects that focus on the preservation and conservation of historic architecture and interiors. It is not intended for archival or collections preservation and is exclusive to projects in Minnesota. Here's to Elizabeth's legacy, as vibrant and beautiful as the day it opened nearly a century ago.